Hi, it's me, Cristal, the creator of the Uncensored Truth About Cryptic Pregnancy and Phantom Pregnancy Support Facebook group, as well as the creator of this channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and thank you so much for being here. I just want to make it clear that what I believe does not influence cryptic pregnancy of years. If I decided right now to change my mind and say that a pregnancy of years is real and occurring, this refraction still wouldn't make it physiologically possible in the human body. I am not concerned with the woman highly involved in this belief. My concern is correcting the belief itself. The women themselves is not my concern. The belief of pregnancy of years, simply put, is misinformation. The internet is an medium for the fast spread of falsehoods at the expense of accurate information. My intention is to provide truth about a subject you will find a lot of misinformation about, a lot of half-truths and complete lies about the infamous cryptic pregnancy of years, or as some call it, a hidden pregnancy. So let's dive into this video. I've said this in previous videos and I'll say it again. Whether you choose to believe what I say here or you don't choose to believe what I say, either way, please ask the Lord for guidance and read the Holy Bible. If you're looking for answers, don't just take my word for it. Do your own investigation and ask God for help in all that you do so He can lead you to the truth. You have to ask yourself how and why you were led to watch this video. I'm not tearing women down by providing them with facts and truth. My beliefs have no influence in what is truth, and my thoughts have no impact whatsoever in what is real. My opinion on the matter has very little authority. It's not so much about how I don't believe extended pregnancies can happen. It's simply that they don't happen. I'm sharing the known and easily found information and facts we've already known to be true about pregnancy. I'm not sharing because it didn't happen to me, but because it is known information that a pregnancy lasting years isn't physiologically possible in the female human body, despite my personal experiences. Pregnancies all over the world for thousands of centuries have been occurring at the length of 37 to 42 weeks gestation, with the occasional 43 to 44 week birth. And my opinion has absolutely no influence in anyone's pregnancy. It's expected that people get stuck assuming things about me based on a few minutes of a video they watched. Still doesn't make it any less weird. They assumed that I'm still bitter about how I wasn't actually pregnant back in 2016. And that's why I say an extended gestational pregnancy or pregnancy of years isn't actually possible. They assume that I'm still disappointed some 7 years later about my phantom or false pregnancy experience. And that's why I don't believe in the made-up belief of pregnancy of years. They presume that I'm still that same person they watched in a random video who was experiencing unexplained symptoms, desperately and naively looking for answers on the internet. It's ridiculous to think someone is the same exact person they were 7 years ago. If I was and am still so bitter, sad, or troubled about my phantom pregnancy experience back then, why do I talk about it so publicly now? And it makes absolutely no sense because I've had 2 children since my false pregnancy experience. And then I also talk about it nationally, since I went on the Dr. Phil show and talked about my false pregnancy experience. So it makes no sense to talk about something you're embarrassed about so often. I'm obviously not embarrassed about my false pregnancy experience. It happens to many women all the time, and it's not something to really be embarrassed about. If I were any of these things, I would hide away and pretend like it didn't happen, much like the women who claim that they have been given birth to a cryptic pregnancy baby. A lot of women who say that they've given birth to a cryptic pregnancy baby just hide away and never actually show the baby and disappear. So I wouldn't make it known and share to complete strangers that I experienced a false pregnancy over and over and over again in hopes of letting them know they aren't alone in this experience, as it is much more common than most will admit. It makes no sense to share and be so publicly vocal about something you are rumored to be ashamed of. I am capable and more than willing to understand why I experienced my phantom pregnancy, and I encourage many women to do the same. Many women have shared their experience with false pregnancy with me, and I have done nothing but explain to them how absolutely freeing it was to share my experience online, to come here on YouTube and share or record videos and share my experience and share my feelings and how I coped with the letdown of it all, how I coped with my body changes and things like that. I have thoroughly documented my experience in whole, including my questioning, discovery, and acceptance and healing of my phantom pregnancy experience here online on YouTube. If you start from the beginning and watch all of my videos in order, it is very obvious that I share my experience to help other women understand why they might be experiencing a phantom or false pregnancy or something similar. My videos aren't to convince other women that they are phantomly pregnant. If you watch my videos, I choose my words specifically to help women investigate their situation, their individual situations, and, talk to their doctors about their individual situations, since that is my number one advice, is to always and build a very strong relationship with a trusted, licensed medical doctor, and to just not settle for answers on the internet. It makes no sense to go online searching for answers about whether or not you could be pregnant when it's so easy just to go to the doctor and get a pregnancy test. Get a pregnancy urine test, a pregnancy blood test, and ask for an ultrasound. If you really feel like you are pregnant, the doctor will give you an ultrasound. So it doesn't matter what I experienced back in 2016, a pregnancy that lasts an undefined amount of time with a baby that cannot be seen, measured, heard, meaning the heartbeat cannot be heard during ultrasound. This isn't a pregnancy. A pregnancy that cannot be confirmed with a baby that can't be seen and has no due date. This is simply a delusion. This type of pregnancy is made up. My experiences do not influence a made-up condition that women choose to believe in despite all the evidence to the contrary, meaning all the doctors have told her she is not pregnant, and she has done everything persistently and consistently with what it takes to tell herself that she is actually pregnant and that the doctors are wrong. I myself am just a woman and mother trying to help other women and mothers. Stating that certain things aren't real, made up, or physiologically impossible isn't me directly making fun of or putting down any specific group or entity or any one woman, even if they do choose to believe in this theory. It is simply stating medical and scientific facts, most of which go against what the Cryptic Pregnancy of Years community would like for any individual to believe. Presenting valid evidence that doesn't support a pregnancy of years isn't targeting any one specific woman or group. I am not speaking out against women because I share the truth about the human body and how conception, pregnancy, and childbirth actually work and worked for all of existence. If you don't want to listen to this information, don't. This information is for any woman or any person who is looking for the truth and not some made-up medical condition to explain away their symptoms without any evidence to support a pregnancy of years or the pregnancy of years theory. So I'm going to read some comments to kind of give you an idea of how the pregnancy of years community members really heavily negatively influence the people around them, like husbands, mothers, grown children, young children, sisters, basically any and all family or friends, as well as anyone involved in their lives even slightly. The symptoms of a false or phantom pregnancy are so real to the person experiencing them that they also become very real to the person around them. To the people around them. The pregnancy is so real to the woman who is experiencing it that she feels so pregnant that the people around her feel that she's pregnant too. And the people around the supposed pregnant woman are so empathetic and sympathetic to her experience and situation that correcting simple misinformation as it comes to light becomes basically inconceivable and can be interpreted as heartless by the woman who claims pregnancy. So if a woman has a friend and she confides in her that she's been pregnant for so many months and she's been unable to confirm this said pregnancy, and that the doctors are telling her that she's not pregnant, but she knows that she is because she's feeling movement, and she confides into this friend, and this friend really starts to they start to feel that same way with they start to empathize with her situation. And so they really start to feel like she could be pregnant. And there's really no other explanation for her symptoms and for her situation. The only explanation that could possibly be would be pregnancy, because they're her friend and they've watched her, and she's very capable and smart and even witty and creative and all of these things. She's your friend, and so she couldn't possibly be crazy and making all of this up. So she's experiencing all of these symptoms. The only reason and explanation for it has to be pregnancy. And so I'm going to read some comments that I got on YouTube, just really breaking down the mindset. I'm going to read the comments to you, and you can kind of make your own conclusion. And I would love to read your comments about these comments. But I will also be concluding the video at the end of me reading out these comments. So let's get to them.
Okay, I give up. If they weren't really pregnant, then what was it? I have a friend going through this, and the physical part is there. It would be a lot easier to accept it if you couldn't see it. Is it a hormone thing?
See what? What are you seeing? A belly? Movement? Physical symptoms? Many factors could be contributing to the development of a false pregnancy or experiencing pregnancy symptoms without being pregnant. Has your friend seen a licensed medical doctor? Has she had an ultrasound?
Yes, a pregnancy-shaped belly and hard like a typical pregnancy belly. I've known her forever, and she never looked like that before. She already had 3 kids, is a former nurse, and wasn't looking for more. So not some deep-seated wish. She's been to multiple doctors. Most have seen nothing. Interesting that they initially commented on her obvious pregnancy, but after reading her chart, the attitude changed, and they want nothing to do with her. Go on a low-carb diet. How's your digestion? Are some of the silly guesses, since they have no idea within typical Western medicine. So the question is, what else can it be? She's been checked for everything, and nothing is wrong.
It's hard to judge from an outside perspective a person's individual desire or fear of pregnancy and or having another child. If she has been to multiple doctors, it is unconstructive to assume it is a problem with the doctors or Western medicine for the reason that they haven't medically confirmed her pregnancy or seen a baby. It's very unlikely after seeing more than one doctor that her pregnancy would be overlooked or not confirmed for some other reason. The reason most doctors might avoid continuing to see her as a patient is simply because it is almost impossible with some women to convince them that they are experiencing a phantom or false pregnancy. The doctor might feel they are wasting their time trying to explain her situation, especially if she is reluctant to anything that she doesn't agree with, such as phantom pregnancy, or the doctor's reassuring that she isn't pregnant because of XYZ. Having a pregnancy-shaped, hard-like belly doesn't automatically mean pregnancy. A woman stating she didn't or doesn't want more children doesn't automatically mean she couldn't be experiencing a false pregnancy. The most reliable and accurate way of medically confirming a viable pregnancy is through an ultrasound scan. If a baby hasn't been seen on an ultrasound after 8 weeks gestation, the woman is more than likely not pregnant. If you truly want answers, you also have to be willing to accept the truth. If doctors are saying she isn't pregnant after thorough physical examination, it is healthy to accept this as a genuine answer. Her physical symptoms could be caused by many things. Maybe an alternative practitioner would be best suited to test her for a whole range of medical conditions that could be causing her symptoms, including her pregnancy-shaped belly. She could start seeing a therapist. Emotions can cause symptoms in the physical body. A nutritionist could also give excellent advice for health and wellness. Has she seen an OBGYN for a routine PAP? Just because the doctors she has seen haven't been able to tell her why she has a round belly doesn't mean she has to be pregnant. A doctor asking questions like, "How is your digestion?" aren't silly guesses. They are important questions. It seems to me after reading your comment that you, along with her, want her to be pregnant regardless of what doctors say, and are labeling doctors as silly because it validates your theory that she is pregnant and the doctors are either ignoring or purposely not confirming the pregnancy. This is not true and very unhealthy. If she wants real answers to her physical symptoms, go to a trusted licensed doctor and then believe them when they make an official diagnosis or referral.
You've completely misunderstood me. I don't care if she is or isn't. I'm afraid for her that it could be a more serious issue and that it is being missed. A little more than try less carbs.
Well, you have to start somewhere, and if the doctor's suggestion is losing weight, then maybe she should listen. I'm not sure how you think it all works. A doctor can't just wave a magical wand and make people do better and feel better. The person with the symptoms needs to be responsible and make an effort. I don't see anything wrong with telling someone to eat less carbs, especially if they have a big, round, hard belly and the doctor isn't finding evidence that the woman is pregnant. You say you want answers, but don't accept the answers these doctors have given. Why is that if you don't care either way if she is pregnant or not? If the woman you are speaking about doesn't want another baby, then it should be easy and even relieving for her to accept that she is not pregnant and try some suggestions in losing weight instead. This is the mindset of a friend of a woman who believes herself to be pregnant, but the doctors aren't seeing the baby. The friend insists she doesn't want another baby, but she is reluctant to accept the doctor's inability to confirm a viable pregnancy. It goes something like this. The woman: "I don't want another baby." Doctor: "Well, you aren't pregnant. Negative urine, blood, and a negative ultrasound." Woman: "That's wrong. I'm having continuous, persistent symptoms." Doctor: "We can run more tests, but as of right now, you aren't pregnant." Woman: "My symptoms are belly growing, dizzy, tender breasts, started on this date and have continued every day." Doctor: "Have you tried adjusting your diet? We can run a stool analysis." Woman: "I don't think you looked well enough during the ultrasound. Can you be sure there isn't a baby?" Doctor: "Yes, ma'am. I'm very sure there is no baby." Woman: "Are you sure?" Does this sound like a woman who doesn't want another child? If you fear pregnancy or even want pregnancy and a doctor tells you you aren't pregnant, deciding to not believe the doctor and instead believe he or she has accidentally or purposely missed the baby or babies on ultrasound and are intentionally not confirming your pregnancy is a delusion. Delusional disorder or psychosis in which a person cannot tell what is real from what is imagined. People with this disorder often can continue to socialize and function quite normally, apart from the subject of their delusion, and generally do not behave in an obviously odd or bizarre manner. This is not to minimize the seriousness of this mental illness. The unshakable belief in something untrue is a delusion. People with delusional disorder experience non-bizarre delusions, which involve situations that could occur in real life, such as being followed, poisoned, deceived, conspired against, loved from a distance, or being pregnant. These delusions usually involve the misinterpretation of perceptions or experiences in the physical body. In reality, however, the situations are either not true at all or highly exaggerated. How delusional disorder relates to cryptic pregnancy of years, though, is very unique. The women in the cryptic pregnancy of years community have the unshakable belief in something untrue, which is pregnancy of years. These women experience delusions of being poisoned by the doctors to kill or harm their unborn or unseen babies. These women have delusions that these doctors will remove their babies during their other non-pregnancy or pregnancy-related procedures and take them and hide them. These women have delusions that the doctors are deceiving them about the possibility of pregnancy of years. These women experience the delusion of being conspired against by the medical community as a whole to keep these hidden babies and undetected pregnancies a secret. These women have delusions of being loved or supported from a distance through these dangerous and toxic online Facebook groups and the women who tell them they are cryptically pregnant. These Facebook groups and sometimes cryptic pregnancy of years books encourage isolation in order to protect the believer. You must cut out all the people who don't believe. This consistently creates isolation for the women or a very, very small circle of friends upon the condition that you agree that she is actually pregnant and will continue to be that way for many, many years to come. The dangerous online support groups created for these pregnancies of years persuade, extort, manipulate, coerce, and isolate the women involved in them. These groups also create a stigma for any woman trying to confirm her HCG negative pregnancy. The unproven theory of an unconfirmed cryptic pregnancy of years is dangerous to all of humanity. An unconfirmed cryptic pregnancy of years goes against everything we know and have known about conception, pregnancy, labor, and childbirth. Satan will often speak half-truths to get people to believe the lie. Satan will ask questions that can cast doubt upon the truth, causing people to disbelieve or have no faith in the truth. The Bible says he is a liar and the father of it. John 8:44. The evidence to support and prove a cryptic pregnancy of years are half-truths. Following and believing in a pregnancy of years requires the belief of half-truths, meaning a person takes an already known conditioning, such as cryptic pregnancy or pregnancy in general, and then manipulates the truth, the proven truth we have known about pregnancy for thousands of years. The manipulation is presented as secret, hidden information about pregnancy, which inevitably leads to deception. A pregnancy takes an already known and studied condition such as intrauterine growth restriction or fetal growth restriction and either exaggerates or fabricates these conditions, signs, symptoms, and clinical presentation as a way of explaining an unconfirmed pregnancy of years. A person gets an ultrasound scan and denies the negative scan results because they say their baby and pregnancy are different because it is cryptic. This is presenting fiction as truth, which simply put is a lie. It is a lie that their baby and pregnancy are so different that the baby is unable to show up on any medical tests throughout the entire pregnancy. It is a myth that a cryptic baby past 8 weeks gestation will be missed on ultrasound. It is a myth that a baby has to be born from a cryptic pregnancy of years. I also want to say this one more time because I feel like it is very important. These cryptic pregnancy groups, the groups that persistently and consistently talk about pregnancy of years or a hidden pregnancy, or the ones that advertise that a woman can have 10, 30, 8, 16, 6, I don't know, however many negative ultrasounds, but still consistently be pregnant no matter how many negative ultrasounds she gets. Those groups create a stigma for any woman trying to confirm her HCG negative pregnancy. There are women out there who are actually pregnant, but they test negative in urine and blood. So the baby will only ever be confirmed through an ultrasound. The baby will be seen on ultrasound despite the woman being negative for HCG and urine and blood. So any woman who is actually pregnant but isn't testing positive in urine and blood could possibly be dismissed by her doctors, because those doctors could have dealt with a woman who was deceived into believing in cryptic pregnancy of years. Those doctors could remember how much harder it was to deal with, examine, and analyze that woman and not want to repeat this never-ending case. You remember the scenario I just went over with the woman and the doctor, and the doctor saying, well, you're not pregnant, and her no matter how he presents it to her, she's not going to accept that she's not pregnant. She's just going to continue to come back to well, I have to be pregnant because of this, this, and this. And so the unproven theory of an unconfirmed cryptic pregnancy of years is dangerous to all of humanity because of this reason. They make it very, very hard for women out there who are actually pregnant, but they're testing negative in urine and blood. They make it very hard for those women to deal with those doctors because of the stigma of this now new online delusion of pregnancy of years, and how it's kind of taken over. I know doctors have seen recent increase in the cases of false pregnancy and women wanting to get ultrasounds thinking that they are pregnant when they're testing negative in urine and blood, just because there's so much information online, especially like with the hook effect and things like that, with pregnancy tests, and how women think that they could possibly be testing negative. So I know a lot more women are going into their doctors requesting ultrasounds because they want to, ultimately confirm, because that is the best, the most accurate and reliable way to confirm a viable pregnancy is through ultrasound. So even if you are testing negative in urine and blood, your baby will be seen on an ultrasound if you are in fact pregnant. So I hope this video helps somebody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day or night or weekend or weekday, whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this video with somebody if you know they could use this information, if it would be valuable to them. I know there's very little resources for this kind of information. So if you know somebody out there, thank you so much for watching. Bye.